Hi everybody, JD Blackrose here, and I am going to be reading a little bit from Fae Crossed, Book 2 in the Summoner's Mark series, and I'm actually going to read a teeny tiny bit of Chapter 2, so hope you enjoy. If you want to hustle up money fast, bartending at a Fae bar is a terrible way to do it. Joey's bar door opened with a slam as two young men, drunk as skunks, pushed it in with their feet. "Can we get a drink around here?" the first one said, sloshing his words together so I had to concentrate to understand what he was saying. They stumbled over one another and cut quite a profile in their rainbow shirts, cargo shorts, Vans, and wrists wrapped in coordinating pink and purple bandanas. They swayed on their feet, and the taller one propped his friend up on the wall, holding him there with a shoulder to protect him from falling. They giggled at some unspoken joke. "They must have come in from the Pride Parade downtown," I whispered to Joey, my half-known boss. I found their flamboyant entrance endearing, but by the tapping of her hairy foot, I could tell she wasn't impressed. They like to hold it in early September. I studied the two men and realized the problem. These guys were human. Utterly, completely, totally, adorably human. I smacked my head with my palm. Right. They shouldn't be able to even see this place. An elf I didn't know stood and cast a glamour so smoothly I would have missed it if I hadn't been watching. A gasp spread around the room. "Hey now, chaps," he said, sounding and looking like a British pensioner. "How about I call you a taxi to take you two home, safe and sound? No time to be pissed in the streets these days." "Not safe." I stepped outside, leaving the door open, and waved an arm. A cab appeared in seconds, faster than one ever came when I needed it, and he handed one of the guys a couple of 20s, whispering something in his ear. They thanked him with sloppy handshakes and back-pounding hugs, which he took off with good cheer. He gave them a jaunty wave as they drove off. The elf closed the door and returned to his true self. That's when I noticed he was extraordinarily tall, at least 7 feet. He paused a moment, studying the crowd. Our patron stayed preternaturally still in his presence as he approached the bar. He tapped his lip as he looked at Joey. "I think," he said with a grin and an Irish lilt, that two lads drank so much they slipped through the veil and mistook a Fae bar for a gay bar." Joey swallowed. "I'll strengthen the wards. I know it's important to keep humans out." He didn't acknowledge her, but turned to peer at me. "You're the one who helped Pinky, am I right?" "Yes," I replied. "Can I pour you a drink?" His eyes lit with pleasure. "I could use a wee drum." I reached for a nice Glenfiddich 12-year-old, but Joey stayed my hand and pointed to a high cabinet I'd never opened. She handed me a key to unlock its glass door, and I stood on a stepladder to retrieve an unopened bottle. "What's your name?" I asked the new elf. He laughed. "I'd no sooner give you my real name than turn myself into a frog glass, but you can call me Liam." "Okay, Liam. Here's something I've never poured." I showed him the bottle, and his eyes widened. "Red-pressed 21-year-old whiskey. Oh, Joey, you know the way to me heart. Be careful with that Rebecca Naomi Greenblatt. Every drop is gold." He used my full name. That bothered me. From everyone's reactions, I could tell he was someone of authority, so his use of my full name was a power play. I stifled my irritation and opened the bottle while he watched me like a hawk. "Neat. Ice. Splash. Splash, please." I poured 2 ounces, added a touch of water, and handed it to him with the amount of reverence it appeared to deserve. He accepted it with 2 hands, swirled it, and breathed it in. Spicy. Nectarine. He took a sip and chewed it, breathing through his nose. "Ah, Joey, you've done me good with this. Zesty, fruity, a touch of pepper, methinks. Wonderful." "I'm happy you like it," she said, her voice low and quiet. He sipped and asked me a question. "Why did you help Pinky?" "No one else would." "Yes, but he wasn't one of yours." I had no idea what that meant. "He's my friend. No one else protected him. He was lost and wanted to go home. Everyone here," I gestured to the bar, "made fun of him." "Aye, that they did." He growled at this, and I swore the Fae in the bar, who'd been remarkably quiet, all winced. A few more sips later, he finished his whiskey. He placed his glass on the counter and clapped his hands. That's why we'll help strengthen the bar's wards. The face stiffened and several grumbled. What about a favor imbalance? Asked another elf, while his friend pawed at his elbow, clearly not liking that his compatriot had asked this question. What will they owe us in return? The elf's friend shook his head and slid his stool away from him as if to say, I tried, but I am not stupid. Liam glared at the elf, power crackling around him. I jumped back and noticed Joey's head bowed, eyes on the ground. What the hell was going on? A little bit of chapter 2. I really hope that you will buy it and enjoy it. Bex is definitely dealing with a lot in this book, and of course it will lead into the third one, which the title is Hellbound. Thanks so much, and please check out the book.